What's up, everyone? Just got done from Cars and Coffee. Today I'm talking about paying the price. It's like January the 3rd, 4th, I don't even fucking know anymore. Oh look, another Corvette right beside me. I think it's super nice. But yeah, I just wanted to hop on here and talk about paying the price. It's Saturday, but today I woke up at 4 a.m., hit the gym, I did a chest and back workout. I felt really good, and then the car meet, it was like 27 degrees out here this morning for the Cars and Coffee, man, but I wanted to take some photos, practice my new hobby, my new skill, right, and focus on editing, and I actually think something good came of it. I had 2 people ask me for my Instagram if I ever post any of my shots, so I'm gonna go home right now directly and go edit their shots and send it to them, DM it to them. Why not? Just spread goodness, right? Get my name out there. Maybe they'll share it with some friends. Their friends could, have some connections. Who knows what, right? Just go ahead and pay the price. That's the whole point of this video, right? And a lot of us aren't willing to pay the price. A lot of us want something great, right? We want to be successful, but we want to take the shortcut, and that's not how it works, right? When you walk into Walmart, when you walk into Gucci, right? You want to get something of luxury or something of value, right? You have to pay the fucking price, and you're not going to negotiate that, right? If the bag, if the handbag, or if the nice shirt, the designer pants are $200, $300 plus tax, you're going to pay that, right? They may have a discount or something you can use, but I fucking doubt it, right? So you have to pay the price, and a lot of us aren't willing to pay the price. It's the same thing for your physique, the same thing with your mindset, the same thing with anything in life, your career, hobby, job, whatever, right? So just be willing to pay the price no matter what. Know that you're going to go into it. Know that there's a price for whatever you want, right? If there's a goal that you're chasing, right? If I want to be a millionaire, right? If I want to make $100,000 a month, there's a price I'm going to have to pay for those $100,000 a month. And if you're not willing to pay the price in its entirety, then don't expect to reap the rewards of what you're seeking if you're not putting the correct effort and the correct work into it, right? So, like today, right? It was cold as shit. I could have made up so many excuses. I was making excuses to try to skip the gym. I could have made excuses to do this and that. But it's a new year, right? Everyone loves to start off the new year strong, make their resolutions, say they're going to do better, say they're not going to slack off, they're going to have discipline and everything. And I've really noticed something, and it really comes to the details, right? Because even though I'm working out daily, right? I'm doing kind of, I'm on the path, right? I'm improving. I'm not just sitting around all day, but it's not like a full 100% effort, right? We all know what we're capable of, and no matter what the external world is telling you, right? Like earlier right now, I went to the meet. Where do I have it at? I have it somewhere here. I had a GoPro strapped onto my head with a hat, right? And like, most people were looking at me like, this guy looks stupid taking photos. But I was willing to pay the price of looking like an idiot, or what it seemed like to those people. I just walked around with confidence. I'm recording my content. I'm taking POV shots of my camera, right? It's something new that I'm trying. And if you're not willing to fail at something first, then you're never going to be fucking great. You think Michael Jordan, you think Andy Frisella, you think all these rich, wealthy people, Mark Cuban, all these people just started out like at square 1,000 and they got to where they got to, right? We tried to compare our chapter 1 to other people's chapter 20 so many times, and we need to just focus on ourselves, focus on us, and really find out what we want in life, right? What is our purpose? We only get one shot at this life, and I've realized that, like, it really just, life can end like that, right? There's been a couple family members that have passed away. Maybe they were older or anything, but, we thought they were in good health, everything was fine. Then from a blink of an eye, you can get sick, you can die, whatever, anything can happen. So you must live every day to your fullest, or else you're going to die. You're going to be on that deathbed with so much regret. So just be willing to pay the price, right? This is the whole purpose of the video. And whatever it is, right? You guys, whatever challenge you're at right now, you might be in school, right? You might be in college. And the price you have to pay is you have to study homework and maybe ditch the video games for a little bit, or ditch the dates, or ditch whatever, the going out to parties, or whatever it is for a short period of time, or maybe an extended period of time, right? If you're worried about the time that it's going to take, right, and you're focused on like, oh, how long am I going to have to go into this grind mode, or how long am I going to have to work at this, then you're never going to fucking make it, okay? You have to fall in love with the process, with the person that you become in the process of what you're doing, right? Because a lot of times we also think that the how is going to come first, right? We think we just magically figure out the how, right? Like, oh, once I get the magical blueprint and all the steps, step by step, then I'll be able to execute on it and do it. No, like, you already have the blueprint to like lose weight if you wanted to, right? Fucking eat in the calorie deficit and work out, right? Eat, and that's it, pretty much, and you'll lose weight, but you won't do it. So it's like, what makes you think that if you can't handle those minute right? Something as simple as like controlling what you eat, or getting yourself enough motivation or discipline to be able to go to the gym, right? Something that's bettering yourself. This isn't like you're getting up to do vices, right? You're not getting up to go party, or you're not going out to like just waste time. You're going to improve yourself. And even though in the short term it may not seem like anything is happening, trust me, in the long term, right? When you stretch it out and we go back and look at the years and all these other people that were just always on the couch, never willing to pay the price for anything, well, actually, they were paying a price, right? There's a price for everything. I lied. If you sit on the TV, there's a price for that. The price that you're going to pay for always watching TV and never trying to pursue your dreams is that your dreams will die. That's the price of that. So there's a price to everything, right? There's a price to working a 9-to-5 job. There's a price to starting a business, right? That you're going to take on this extra possible stress and financial struggle to go all out on your own and become an entrepreneur or whatever it is. Or if you want to pay the price of becoming an athlete, you have to train hours and hours and hours. And if you're not willing to train those hours and somebody else is willing to train those hours, then what makes you think that you're going to be better than them in the long run, right? Like it just doesn't make sense, right? So this year, I know like I've been struggling a lot with half-assing like my diet and stuff, and not like I always fall into the bad habit and vice of eating biscuits in the morning on my way to work. But you just gotta stop this shit. You gotta stop this shit and realize someday that no one's gonna come to save you. No one's gonna stop me from eating those biscuits. It's the same way for anything else. No one's gonna stop you from watching the TV shows too much or from playing the video games too long, whatever. I'm not saying you can't indulge in different things, but when you overconsume, and this is my issue, right? I have an overconsumption of dopamine, especially with like TikTok and scrolling. I'm just trying to limit that, focus my time on something positive so that way I don't get bored, because my main issue is getting bored, right? When you get bored, what do? You just like, fuck, what can I do? And it's like negative thoughts come into your mind, and like the first thing you can think of is just doing some dumb shit, like, oh, I'm gonna just watch some anime, or oh, I'm gonna just play the game or whatever, when in reality, you know, you should maybe be reading the book. I should be editing a couple more photos to get me ahead, or maybe I should just meditate and just sit there and quiet. And sometimes we feel like sitting there and like quiet isn't like doing work, right? Because this is how I feel like when I'm sitting there not doing something, I don't know, tangible, it's just like, oh, meditating, like it's not benefiting me at all. But it is, because I am my mind, my body, and my soul, right? And if I'm not good on the inside internally, if I'm not thinking correctly, then nothing in this external reality is going to come out the way I want it, okay? If I'm emotional, if I'm just kind of like, oh, any little external thing, or like maybe I get a call from a client that I'm working at my job, and they yell at me with an attitude, and I let that bad energy come into me, and then I reciprocate it back, and then now it's just like this conflict, and I'm not accomplishing anything. But if I maybe had focused on my mind and meditated a little bit this morning before coming into that job, right, maybe I would have been in a different headspace, and I would have been able to better respond to the client, and maybe been able to save a potential deal, right? So this is the small, minute differences that we overlook, and that I have overlooked, right? So this is all because I'm sharing this, because I want you guys to also know, right? So be willing to pay the price and focus on the details, right? Just think about it. Just sit there for 5-10 minutes. I'm gonna leave you guys with this on this last note. Sit there, right? Sit there in quietness for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, however long you can, and just think. Maybe put on some like noise, like white noise, right? You don't want something with words. You don't want something that's gonna distract you. You just want to try to focus and just think, like, what is it that you really want, and what are you really willing to pay the price for? Because a lot of us say we want the nice body, or we want the nice car, or we want to start the business, but are we really willing to pay the price? And it reflects a lot on your actions, right? And so yeah, just get out there, start doing it, start paying the price, and accepting that there's no shortcuts, right? When you go out for the checkout and you're trying to check out your fucking Lamborghini, they're not just gonna discount you $100,000-$200,000 just because you fucking want it, right? They may, but more than likely you're gonna have to pay the price. So just be willing, right? You have to be willing to pay the price, and then you may get lucky, right? You may get lucky in some opportunity, some crazy thing may happen, but you first have to be willing no matter what. You have to be able to like take it to the point where, like, if you're at rock bottom, about to be bankrupt, that it's not going to break you, that you still have faith and hope that you can make it out. So just think about it, sit there in quietness, think about what you guys really want and what you're willing to pay the price for.